Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Secretary, for what you're doing and taking the time to come see us today. And I do think it's important, as many of the members here have mentioned, for us to stress the positives of what we're doing with the VA and with our veterans. Out in my district and out in Minneapolis at our polytrauma center there, which I would consider to be probably one of the more premier facilities in the world. And they're doing great work. And I sat up there in the polytrauma ward with mothers from Michigan, and their sons have multiple amputees and have TBI, and they'll stress that the only thing keeping them going is the angels on that floor that are serving them. So I do think it's important that we're here, because the bottom line on this is an outcome-based proposition that is zero sum. We will never rest until everyone's taken care of to the best of our ability. I know you share that with me, and that's our responsibility. So I'm not here with joyful enthusiasm. I am a new member, but I'm not joyfully enthusiastic. I'm here with a deep sense of solemn duty and of responsibility to get this right. So I thank you for being here. I also, in my time prior to coming here, my postgraduate work was in organizational analysis. So I'm looking at it when you're talking the gap analysis. I know it's one of many tools. I think it's very important for us not to forget words like optimal allocations of inputs and things like that. It's a way you have to use it as a management tool, but these are veterans, these are people, and we can never forget that. So when I hear things that everything's fine and we're reducing numbers, one's too many, and it gets frustrating. And when my veterans they'll see a document, and they'll see it's well done, and they'll see great things in here, and they'll ask me the question, so what? I still can't get in. And so that's why we're here, and that's what we're coming. I want to ask one particular question. I noticed, and I'm glad this was listed as P1, the recommendation in the process for disability determinations, which is obviously the big issue. And I see in here that we went through the gap, we did the recommendations for the gap, and then we did the implementation action and target date. We've met those apparently, and we had the joint meeting on May 3rd. What next? What do I tell my people? And when I see in here, Mr. Secretary, you said, and I appreciate you saying this, that you take personal responsibility to make sure these things get done. I appreciate you saying that, but I also state that you took that on when you took the job. Tell me now how this P1 is going to be implemented.
I mentioned, I think you were here, that things are moving on that, and there was a big meeting yesterday in the Deputy Secretary of Defense's office, Secretary England. Secretary Gates served on my task force. He attended the meetings, up to speed on those issues, and has delegated Secretary England to head up their endeavor. So this is really getting serious, and I would say unprecedented command focus. And as I said, they've agreed to meet every Tuesday, and there's an energy, there's a force behind this. There are, like there are in almost everything, there are always at least two sides to everything, and in this is a complicated issue with the welfare and the future of a lot of people involved, including members, of the active force who have a stake in this and how this comes out, and they of course are going to be heard and represented by their service secretaries and chiefs, but there's a real action going on that I've never seen before, and I don't think ever existed before.
So if we're sitting here in 2 years, and will we expect to see disability determinations being made at a quicker pace? Would that be the outcome we're looking for? Is that something we can't say can happen?
I would safely say that, yes.
All right. So if you and I are here in 2 years, we're going to take responsibility between the two of us to reduce that claim backlog and making sure that that's going to happen, and this recommendation can help us get there?
Yes, I can't wave a wand over all these different agencies. I chaired this task force. I reported it to the president. The president has taken it on board. It's being taken very seriously, and I also am going to, I'm in charge of the follow-up. And
I'm encouraged by that. I'm encouraged that we're going to get this done. But I said, you and I both know that if that doesn't translate into our veterans getting quicker, it's not going to be for anything. We have a deep responsibility to do that, so thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're totally correct, and we have a lot of other things to do than to just go through, another, bureaucratic morass here. That is not my mindset in this at all.
Great.